going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
This is Duck Insider.
We need to get community. We need this thing to be bigger than just our little circle of players and coaches.
Are you kidding me? Touchdown, Oregon.
With 2 seconds on the clock, he hits it!
That's the bigger picture in this thing, allowing the community to celebrate the hard work, blue-collar mentality this group brings to the table.
And the Ducks have won it. The Ducks have won.
We get to struggle together, and we get to have joy together.
Dante will dribble it out. The Ducks are Pac-12 tournament champions.
I am so proud right now to be the head coach at Oregon.
Oregon's a Fiesta Bowl champion in a 12-win season.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
Women's golf is still playing. The Ducks still in action after a win this morning. Match play continues this afternoon. We'll have some updates for you, more details coming. It's also a season in review time for Coach Lombardi and the Oregon softball team. We chatted with her earlier today. That interview for you coming up. Baseball's got some all Pac-12 honors headlined by Maddox Maloney to get to, and we'll continue our conversation from yesterday with Oregon women's basketball head coach Kelly Graves heading into throughout the offseason, heading into next year with a new look roster. We're talking with KG. Also to kick things off today, it's the return of our very popular segment as part of Athletic Director Tuesday. It's Damon Merkerson and friends.
Let's go.
That's right. We have continued. We need to get you like an extra addition to the business card that says host Damon Merkerson and friends. Has he told you about this?
No, I don't think so. But I agree. I think we should do like a weekly interview with him. So I think he has a lot of content to share.
Set it up.
So we talked about a number of different social campaigns that have yet to come to fruition, but they're in the works, okay? These are some of the things that they take time to make sure that they're going to be done right. Damon Merkerson is with us. We have coined the segment name of Damon Merkerson and Friends because Damon, you've taken advantage of the Athletic Director Tuesday segment by involving student athletes, which is what it's supposed to all be about. And as a result, we get a new 2-minute life story. Well, it's your segment. Do you want to do the proper introduction? I mean, I'm making sure that I check all the boxes here, Damon.
You know, that's a lot of pressure because you do an amazing job, but I'll step up to the challenge and do my best.
Well, you're nice to lie like that.
Yeah, you know.
I'm excited to hear from him.
Yeah,
Let's see what he has to say.
Okay.
Well, please, it is my genuine pleasure to introduce the one, the only, the great women tennis's own Uxia.
Oh my God, that was better than I expected.
That was really good. Uxia Martinez is with us. Thank you for being here, by the way.
you.
Good shirt choice, wearing the Be Oregon shirt today. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Now, I have to tell everybody that she's been warned. The 2-minute life story, the running tradition here in the studio. So just to quickly review, I've got the stopwatch ready. This isn't.
My heart started racing just like.
You got to get as close to 2 minutes as you can. I don't know if you noticed. There's a leaderboard on the whiteboard. Like we keep track of who has had the closest to 2 minutes ever. The record's a minute 59.56. There's been accusations and allegations of cheating on that particular one. However, Casey Rogers, I know he wasn't cheating because it was right here in the studio. He did it in 2:03.86. Pretty good. So, are you ready? 2-minute life story?
All right, let's do it.
Okay, we got a lot to cover. The 2-minute life story, go.
All right, my name is Uxia. I'm originally from Spain, from a small town called La Coruña in the northwest. I grew up playing actually soccer throughout the first maybe like 12, 13 years of my life, and then I kind of started picking a tennis racket. I fell in love with it and just started playing more and more. And then the time of going to college kind of started coming up to my mind, and kind of was deciding, should I go back to Spain? Should I stay in Spain, or should I try to go to the States and do college tennis there? And I just jumped right into it. Had Courtney come see me in Spain. I met her. I fell in love with her, with the program, and just made the right decision. Been here for 5 years. I'll be graduating actually in spring. Double majoring in neuroscience and psychology. Super interested. Now excited to just start getting into the professional world and just trying something new, What else? My family will come for the first time to the States to see my graduation, so that's exciting.
Cool.
They'll come all the way from Spain, so pretty exciting. And yeah, besides playing tennis, I'm also involved in B Oregon. Thanks to Damon for the opportunity. It's been a great year working with him and just really trying to enhance like student athlete experience and just promoting all the different topics that we do. I think we did a great year this year with creating the new logo and really emphasizing all the things that we wanted to do. And I don't know, super excited to be here with you all and just update you with what we have going on in B Oregon. I don't know how much that been.
Minute 40.6.
Okay.
That's good. See, so I gotta tell you, there's those of you who know, we've had some that are like 6.5 minutes, and I'm like, that's
yeah.
It's aggressive.
And then
I was just worried that was gonna be one of those because I like talking. Like
Mark Wozniakowski, I'll shout out to Woz. Woz's was 6 seconds long.
Wow.
He just said, nobody wants to hear about that. I'm the head baseball coach at the University of Oregon. I was like, Woz! Like, come to find out he was going to be on Wall Street if he wasn't a baseball coach. Like, that was interesting.
Wow, okay.
Never.
Yeah.
So, Woz, you still owe me that full 2-minute life story. You talked about B Oregon. That's what we want to talk a little bit about today. And a number of other things as well. To put your whole career in perspective, has it hit you yet? That your career is coming to an end?
Yeah, a little bit. I feel like my brain hasn't like fully processed. I feel like it's kind of just feeling like, oh, is this a break? Like you're gonna like start like in a few weeks again.
Yeah.
Because I feel that's how it just felt around this time with like tennis just being over around like mid-spring term. So now we're, the team's going over like 8 hours weeks. So I feel like my brain is like in that perspective, but I feel like it'll probably start hitting more like towards the summer, once I like actually find a job and I start doing all those things. I'll be like, okay. But right now, I'm just going with the flow. And
you touched on, though, I'm glad that you brought this up, double majoring.
Yeah.
And a student athlete. That's hard.
It is hard. It's not impossible, but it's hard. You just have to put the hours. But yeah.
So what do you want to do? What's next?
I don't know. I was having this conversation with him a little bit ago, actually, because I knew this question was going to come out with, and I was like, I do not know what to say. But, I mean, I kind of do. I will kind of love to jump into some, like, sort of pharmaceutical and medical device sales. That's, like, the first thing that stuck out to me right around this time of graduation. But there's, like, a lot of other things that are going on around my mind that I would love to try at some point in my life. Like, staying around athletics, like coaching, like being able to maybe work here one day, like I actually have so much love for this place. Although I'm not from the US, like I've been here 5 years and this truly feels like a home to me. So
awesome.
Still deciding, but there's some cool ideas.
Awesome. All right, now a number of different things that you've been involved in. B Oregon. So just take fans inside. What are these subcommittee meetings like? What's B Oregon doing these days? How proud are you of your work with B Oregon?
I mean, I'm very proud. I feel like this year has been like a great year of like transition in a way of like with the new logo, and I feel like Damon is just like helping us a lot with like promoting it and really just getting that outreach. And I feel we've been doing like a pretty good job. Where we have coming up like International Student Night, which is happening tomorrow during SAC time.
Good timing on the interview.
Yeah,
see?
actually, yeah.
Look at that.
So super excited for that because I feel it's one of the most fun like activities that we do at SAC. We bring like international students and we put them on tables and they're just in charge of the whole SAC time of just talking about their countries, their culture, and everybody else just like goes around the tables. And I think it's just super cool for them, to have that day where it's about them because they really come from all over the world and like they're, I can personally just know how it feels and it's tough sometimes. So I think it's super cool to have a night for them where they feel like they're the main characters and everybody just like learning about them. I feel like it's unreal how the U of O has so many like international athletes, and it just makes the experience like so much cooler for just not only them but just everybody around them.
Damon and I have talked about this a little bit, but that international aspect of the student athlete, I mean, how much have you learned about other cultures even just as a result of that? And you yourself, as you mentioned, coming from another place.
So much. Just within my team, I don't think it's been like, right now we're at like 6 countries just in my team and we're only like 10 people.
Yeah, tennis and golf seem to be the most international rosters for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, it's definitely been so fun. Overall, it's pretty fun. There's other times where there's some challenges, when you're going throughout the season, like trying to adjust like everybody's like personalities and like backgrounds into like the same team. It's not easy, but the overall experience is super fun. I mean, I got to travel to their houses, they get to travel to mine, and just on the everyday like basis, we just get to learn so much from each other to like such a deep level, and I'm excited to have them share their experiences with the rest of the athletes at SAC tomorrow.
Cool. Uxia's here. By the way, that was one of the best wrestling type introductions we've ever had. Do you agree? I mean, Damon absolutely crushed that.
I think he crushed it.
I can't drum it up.
Listen,
quite like that.
I love the WWF. I think it's referred to as the WWE now. Growing up,
yeah, that's right.
The Rock, Stone Cold. That was like closetly one of the jobs I wanted to do was be like an announcer. Yeah. Just get a good theme music.
Why
going
didn't we
on.
have you do the videos for the O show?
Oh man,
next year,
missed opportunity.
Yeah, I literally just did them.
Did you?
This morning it was on my list, recording some stuff for the O show. So next year you're doing the intros.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm hosting, so I'm one of the co-hosts on there, right?
Sure,
so
let's go.
We'll see.
I didn't know that.
Have you picked your outfit yet?
Say it again.
Have you picked your outfit yet?
I haven't. I'm looking for something really forest green. I have a lot of green.
Forest
green.
Wow.
Okay, the dark green.
Yeah, running low in that department in my clothing.
All right. Now the O show. Student athletes get excited for the O show. Am I right?
Yeah. We love it. We're pretty excited.
Yeah. So those that aren't familiar, award show voted on internally, and it's a chance for student athletes. Really, I said that it's like student athlete prom once. Is that a fair assessment? Like you get a chance to dress up a little bit. Everybody kind of puts on their best outfit.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most exciting parts of it. Like people are super excited to just dress up, and I feel it's a way to kind of like see everybody's personality in a way, because I feel we're just so used to see each other in just like athletic clothing that I think it's super fun to just get away from that and and dress up. And
it's like our version of the ESPYs. Is probably the best way to put it, right?
No, and I think it's cool. I think I can say this, but this year we don't have a red carpet. I think we're gonna have a green carpet.
Hey!
So we're upgrading. We're upgrading.
Okay.
That's good branding.
Yeah.
That's just good branding. All right, I'm gonna put Damon on the spot now a little bit. Like, he's had a number of student athletes that have come in and talked about, because hearing from you all, right, about B Oregon and what this place has meant to you, that's what I love hearing. That's what fans love hearing. How much have you loved working with her now, Damon, especially in your role?
You always, it's like a cliche that you learn more from the students than they learn from you. But with Uxia, just understanding a little bit more about the student athlete experience, especially from an international student perspective, it's been invaluable, right? Like her describing the different dynamics that go on within her team, the different ways that we can think about supporting or providing resources for those students has like just broadened my thinking. So we always have a good conversation. She's a passionate talker.
Yeah.
And we both like to talk, so we always have good dialogues, man.
Well, it works out. So I don't know if either of you know this, but literally there's one person that can ring through my do not disturb right now, and it's my wife, because she's 9 months pregnant. So if you guys want to just take over and host the show the rest of the week. Knight's going to be here next week, but we've got openings. I mean, the job is yours if you want it.
I mean, don't say things like that to me, because I'll hold you to it, and I'll come up here and be hosting all week.
Knight, what do you got next Wednesday? I mean, I think Damon's in.
Tune in, baby.
Hey, so see, now you heard it here first. Like, we just recorded a segment with Matt Ulmer, Oregon volleyball head coach, and I asked Matt actually a couple weeks ago. He was the emergency backup on a Friday if I had to leave, because that's where we are. So in any case, thanks for your passion. First of all, Damon, I did want to ask you a little bit about the Pathways to Empowerment program that you have been so instrumental in. Tell fans a little bit about it if you could while you're here.
Yeah. So really, this idea started from an event we attended at the Black Student Athlete Summit that takes place in USC. And we connected with our in-state rivals, Oregon State, and their Black Student Athlete Unit group, right? Connected both of these student athlete groups, and they just have stayed in contact throughout the whole calendar year. That they reached out early this spring saying, hey, they want to do something in Portland.
Cool.
How can we commit some service? How can we get some professional development? And that email led to connecting with both of our alumni networks. And what we had was a beautiful service career event take place in downtown Portland, where we had both alumni from Oregon and Oregon State. as well as student athletes from both Oregon State's black student athletes, collaborate, network, and just build bridges, man. And it was, again, very, very impactful. They're still connected to this day, and they want to continue to do some service within the whole, Oregon community.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, to put you on the spot a little bit, you've been a part of a lot of different programs over your career now, a lot stemming from the Be Oregon ideal. Give the pitch, if you could, like for anyone tuning in, like why has this helped you? Like how has this helped you as a student athlete? I think that's important for all of us to kind of hear that from you.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, it's been just like super cool to just get engaged with the Oregon from like an educational perspective. I feel like I learned about so many different topics that I don't think I will have like learned or maybe just put myself into the position of like learning about if I wasn't like, engaged in it. And also just like collaborating with the Mo and having like Katrina, Nicole, like Bless, Ajani in the past, like just coming from all of us from different backgrounds and cultures, I think it really helped me like, create just a new perspective of just life in general. And I think it's just been great. I mean, I'm leaving next year, but I highly recommend to any student athlete to really get engaged with Be Oregon because all the programming that we do is like super interesting, super rewarding. I mean, we've done like school visits. We've done like Soul Food Sunday. Like we really do a lot of programming for every single athlete to feel included and to feel supported. So I feel there's literally a space for anybody throughout Be Oregon, literally for anybody. It doesn't matter where you come from. Doesn't matter what you like, what you don't like. There's really space for you to feel safe. So that's the biggest part that I liked from it, especially coming from from another country. I really wanted to get engaged with it and be a resource for anybody.
That's awesome. Uxia Martinez, once a Duck, always a Duck, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Once a Duck, always a Duck. What else should fans know? What we missed today?
Well, again, Uxia kind of mentioned, we have International Student Athlete Night that's taking place Wednesday. We're trying as a department to collaborate with the Asian Night Market that's taking place on Friday between 5 and 10 p.m. Beautiful programming, beautiful event, celebrating, May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Month. So that's like a culmination event here in Eugene where there's just, again, a lot of culture being shared, man, a lot of great food. And summer plans, man. I'm looking forward to my Oregon-cation. Is that what it's called? No. What is it called?
It can be called
Exploregon.
that.
Exploregon.
I'm going Exploregon, and I want to drive a little bit, hit Crater Lake.
How's the bike?
Oh, the bike life is amazing. I'm flying now that the rain is slowing down a little bit.
Yeah.
But
this has been a long running.
Yeah. But what I really enjoy is not telling my wife where I'm going and just like giving her anxiety in driving places. So I need to think.
That's Exploregon, right?
That's Exploregon right there, right?
That's it.
So yeah, man, looking forward to some road trips this summer.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, hey, thanks to both of you for being here, Damon Merkerson and friends. The segment continues. We'll have you back in August, okay?
Oh, bring it on, man.
Yeah, or next week. Who's to know?
I mean, I thought next week. I'm planning on being in that chair next week. So if someone's there, I'm gonna be upset.
So Knight, I mean, you might get Wally pipped here. It's
Wally
very possible.
Great reference.
Very possible.
It's a great baseball reference.
Uxia, thank you.
Thank you
for being a Duck. Thanks for being here. This has been awesome. All right, we're gonna get a quick timeout. When we come back, season in review. Coach Lombardi talking with the Duck softball head coach on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Hey, son. How are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it. Navigating without a compass, eyes waiting, started to wonder. Metamorphosis, the loss of who you thought you is.
When your kid can't find the language, help them find the lyrics. Listen to the Sound It Out album and get tips and tools to start a conversation at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
Time to talk softball. Every Tuesday we've done this since February. Coach Lombardi joining us. That puts it in perspective, doesn't it? We welcome you back to Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. It has been a lot of conversations on a Tuesday. You picked Tuesday as your day 7 years ago now. Like, why Tuesday? What happened with Tuesday?
I think Tuesday just works really good for the two of us.
Tuesday just fits. Thanks for being here. I got to get the fist bump in ahead of time. So we said we were going to be talking this week. I was hoping we would be talking again next week and the next week and the following week. But, Coach, congratulations nonetheless on a tremendous season. I know you always want to win the last one. Every coach does, but still, quite the season, huh? Recap it for us if you could.
Yeah, it was, we had a lot of adversity that we had to kind of push through as a team and figure out who we are and how to go about things. And I think just started off, just not the way we wanted to early on, but then we figured it out, we ended up finishing third in the league, which I was really excited about that. The pack is just extremely tough. And I just really loved how we finished playing. These guys, the way they got there and understood what they needed to do as a group to be elite on the field. So
we'll talk a little big picture throughout this conversation, kind of review the season, but the regional, Coach. I mean, I know that had to be emotional for you. It's emotional at the end for everybody. Just what'd you take away for your team this weekend?
To go there to that regional and to play in front of that crowd and to play a team that's won it 3 years, that's won the whole thing 3 years in a row, and to flat out compete against them. I hate that we're on this side of it, but to watch our seniors and the way they finished and lead this team, and then to watch our returners get that experience and get a taste of that and to take it into next year. I think obviously we want to still keep playing, so I'm not here for participation awards, but I just think of experience, what it's going to do for our returners.
And to that point, took them to the brink a couple times, right? And that's a good program. You know that better than anybody, right? So what does it do for your team now moving forward? Kind of an example of, hey, look at where we were, I guess.
I just think, playing in the pack, you have to play at a very high level. But I think going there this weekend, it forced us to elevate even more. I think we just went to a place that we hadn't gone to this year. And I just think it's going to be, experience is so valuable. And I look at some of our young athletes and what they did and what that will do for them next year. And
during the break, we were even talking about just specifically the pitching staff. I mean, really rose to the occasion a few different times for you.
Yeah, I love how Morgan finished. I loved it. I'm so thankful for her and what she's done for our program. But then to watch Taylor Spencer, who is a freshman, and we have thrown her into the fire all year long. And has played some tough opponents. To, the first game against them, you could see nerves a little, missed some pitches, and they got it. And then you saw her the second game, just basically absolutely go for it, throw the kitchen sink at them, and really get to see what she's capable at a high level versus a high team. And I thought the same thing for Elise and Stevie. Stevie came in and closed the first game, but just what that's going to do for those guys, it excites me.
And the staff aspect that we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
You still have a lot of depth returning next year in that spot.
Yes, and to have that experience at that level against that type of an opponent is what we needed. You could see that's what we needed. That's what we needed.
Yeah, talking with Coach Lombardi, reviewing the Oregon softball season. Okay, so the emotional part now. You touched on Morgan Scott, the way that she finished. Let's start there maybe. As a fifth year, been a part of the program, pitched some big innings for you over her career.
Yeah, every time she went on the mound, she gave us a chance to win. You know, her first year fought an injury and still like just pitched great and gave us a chance. I love her competitiveness, her will to win, to win for her teammates. Just, I really love how she finished.
Continuing to review the senior class, Ariel Carlson. We'll start. I'll go numerically. That seems like the easiest way to sort.
Yeah.
But the pride of Eugene, Oregon, right now.
Yes. Love it. 15 bombs, 15 doubles, 15 stolen bases. Since the first time, I think that's the first time in our program ever at Oregon. But for in our, since I've been here to see something like that, like I said, Ariel, the summer before her junior year, wanted it to be different. And here we are, look at her finishing her career. And I'm really hoping and going to push to see if we, she has an opportunity to be an All-American. She totally deserves that. And you know what? She's coming back next year to work with us. So.
How about that?
I love it.
That's
I'm really
cool.
excited for her.
Yeah. So what's the outlook? Tell fans. You can't give us that sort of a tease, and I got to ask the follow-up now.
Yeah. No. Well, Tara McGowan spent a year with us this year. She wants to be a college coach, and so she came and was in charge of our player development. And I'm excited to see her and what's next.
Yeah.
And for her to get a job, and then for Ariel to be to
That's
replace
great.
her. So.
How valuable could that pipeline potentially be? Like, I realize now it's only a couple years that this is happening, but it must be valuable if you're doing it.
Extremely valuable, like what Tara did for us analytically this year, and then just her presence. She was an All-American, and so for Ariel to do the same, to come back next year, and for us to prepare her to be a college coach, but then on top of that to share her knowledge with these new athletes that are returning. I think it's going to be wonderful.
Well, and how big of a deal is it, too, to even have the proximity in that she just played? Like I know you've liked that about some of the assistants that you've had over the years. Like that helps, I'd imagine.
For sure. Goes a long, long way. I'm looking forward to it, and I know she is, too.
That's great. That's awesome. Okay, now, larger question. Talk about a couple fifth years there, for example. The rosters are going to get a little younger now moving forward, right? How does that change things around college softball as a whole? I'm asking just as a college softball fan in general.
I think one thing that's like we are going to be very young next year.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about that. You just, this group right here, it's more about me getting out of their way. They're elders. They've been there. They've done that. They know what they need to do. It's about me getting out of their way and putting in my 2 cents when I need to, but them understanding now, like you get back to that young group and, you've got to coach them up even more. It's just a younger group.
Yeah.
But I just think that the torch keeps getting passed down. Like this senior group is passing a really big torch down to this junior, to the returners. And I think that's going to, it's a difference maker as well.
We're talking with Coach Lombardi, Oregon softball season review. Quick timeout here in the Country Financial Studio. More Duck Insider with Coach Lombardi after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can make the most out of summer with all your friends. Most of my friends happen to be four-legged.
Your summer starts here, but it all ends June 3rd. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can make the most out of summer with all your friends. Most of my friends happen to be four-legged.
Your summer starts here, but it all ends June 3rd. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Tom mom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Earlier today, we caught up with Oregon softball head coach Melyssa Lombardi, reviewing the season and talking about now the offseason and the year ahead with Coach Lombardi. All right, talking more seniors. Alyssa Daniel, another Oregonian, which is always fun when you get the local products.
Same thing. Love how she finished this summer. She was determined to be better than the year before, and to see what she did this year. Her defense was unbelievable. Every chance she came to the plate, she gave us an opportunity to put one over the fence. You know, her love for Oregon, to be able to return home and finish her career here.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I think about like senior day, how many more people could be there, you know, just because of proximity. Like there's something to be said for that. How about Reagan Breedlove?
Love it. Love it. You know, Reggie has been a Duck through and through. Yeah. And to see her and what she's done and the different roles that she's had for us, you know, whether she'd open a game or come in and close a game, you know, just the speed that she had on her ball. Loved her competitiveness on the mound, but just loved her off the field. Like, she would always make us laugh. Like, we had a really good culture in our bullpen. And
cool.
I'm going to miss her. I'm going to miss Reg.
Talking about KK Humphreys, too, someone that a transfer portal example of where I think it just really fits in for everybody. What'd you see from KK in her career?
No, just same thing. Hard worker, relentless, competitor, wants to be great in everything she does. You know, just wills herself to be great, and I love that. You know, she fit us. I can remember still talking to her for the first time, and I'm like, she fits us. She's going to have a great career here as well. And so, again, just the competitor, her versatility. I mean, she could play any position out on the field except for probably pitcher and catcher, and she probably could catch.
She probably could.
But what I love about the senior group is that they all did not come together. Some came early, some came late, but the fact that they all got to play in their later years together and leave together, that's what I love about this group.
Case in point, Emma Kauf, I mean, just this weekend had a couple big hits for you.
Yes, loved it. And, you know, she came in 1 year, and it's hard. It's, you know, 1 year you have to have a lot of urgency, and you got to settle in. And it took her a little bit to settle in this year, which, you know, that's just a part of it. Everybody's journey is going to be a little different, but goodness, once she settled in, you saw what she did in the pack and then she did in postseason. But just to get 1 year of her to touch on our program, so thankful she came.
How about Taya Bird? I feel like a great example of player development over the years.
For sure. I remember when Taya first came on campus as a freshman, and you know, she's been an athlete that's had to work hard all, 4 years and really earn a spot and get in the starting lineup. And then there was times this year that she was in and out, and she was an unbelievable teammate. And when she got her chance to get back in, she said, Coach, I'm staying in.
I'm in. Yeah.
I'm in.
If KK could play anywhere, Valerie Wong probably could too.
Yes, Val's another one. You know, I've watched Val work over the years. She's probably, since she's been here, has played every position but pitcher.
Yeah.
You know, and Val's another one, determined to be great. And that's one she hit every single day before practice. Every single day. She didn't miss. And just what she wanted, the leader that she became. So impressed. I know no matter what Val does, whatever's next for her, she will be great.
Did she ever pitch in a scrimmage?
No, but she pitched before she got here, and she could do it. A lot of these guys did.
Yeah.
So.
And then lastly, of course, Hannah Delgado. I mean, just so you touched on adversity. I mean, your team had to face some adversity late in the year with Hannah.
We did, and she just handled it with such grace and just strength is what I would say. And our athletes handled it too. None of us has ever seen that. I hope I never have to see something like that again.
Me too.
But to know that Hannah's going to have a full recovery, and to see Hannah go, I can't physically play, but what am I going to do to help this team? That just tells you who she is. And it's tough. She was having she hit over 300. She was a 4-time all-pack recipient, which is very, very difficult to do. And just to have her best year and to see how that it stunk. But I believe God has a plan for her, and her journey is bright. And how she finished with us just tells you all about her.
You can count on one hand the amount of players that have the trophy case the size of Hannah Delgado in this conference and in this program's history, which puts it in perspective. Continuing to talk with Coach Lombardi, mentioned the seniors. They really left a mark overall. You touched on that a little bit. They made version 6 better than they found it, I guess, didn't they?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. And that's all we talk about is, leave this program better than you found it. Leave your mark.
To that point, like now it is, you mentioned passing the torch.
Yeah.
So the off season, what's the off season going to look like? What's your schedule ahead just the next few weeks even to wrap up the academic term?
Yes, these guys are in class, they got a couple weeks left. And so they're just trying to get that finished up. We have 9 of them that are going to graduate and walk, actually 8 that will graduate and walk. So that's exciting. And then from there, they go into the off season. Some hang around here, some go home. Some will, there's just like baseball, there's college leagues that we have some that will play in, and some will just need the needed break. So it just depends, but just an opportunity to reset a little bit and then start to prepare.
In bigger picture, heading into this year, you were very complimentary of the work your team did in the off season.
Yeah.
The strength and conditioning. Another important facet of the season, the off season, as we say.
No, the summer is the summer of our swole ducks. We call them swole ducks in the summer, because it's about what are you going to do in the weight room? What are you going to do personally, to perfect your craft and to be better than you were the year before? Like I'm mentioning Val and Alyssa and, Ariel, and it's not just those, it's these others as well. But what they wanted to do, they wanted to be great. Yeah. And so what they were willing to do to come back and not just be ready, but just, really take it above the level that they were at prior. So
also bigger picture, we were talking before about the schedule. We talked all year about how you scheduled up, had a tough non-conference schedule, always tough in conference in the pack. Going to do that again next year? What's the outlook?
Absolutely. Yeah. You have to. If you want to be the best, you have to play the best. And we have to have a tough schedule. To me, I think about us having the ability to compete against Oklahoma and almost take them down is because of the schedule that we played this year. Yeah. You got to continue to play the best.
Tournaments next year. I said plural. At the Jane, it sounds like, right?
Yes, we're looking to do a couple tournaments. We have our one for sure. And but yeah. We want to play in front of our fans. We love playing at the Jane.
Yeah.
We don't just say that to say that. We do. We love it. And so to give these guys the opportunity to be at home and not be on the road, I'm all for it.
And I'm sure more coming with the new conference, with the Big Ten scheduling. Just anything fans should know. Like where's that at?
Yeah, still like working on that. But I think you'll get to, with the pack breaking up, it stinks. But I think it will give us more opportunity to play some more midweek games because we're all so close to each other.
Wow.
So I think they'll see some more additional home dates for us, which I'm really looking forward to.
That's exciting. I mean, yeah. I was going to ask you, like, larger picture. You play a lot of 4, even 5-game weekends early on. Yeah. Maybe that shrinks a little more home dates later on. I don't know.
Yeah. For sure. That would be wonderful.
I love it. Coach, just what else should fans know? I always appreciate you coming in and talking with us every Tuesday. What else on your mind to wrap things up this year?
Just that I'm really proud of this group. We play to win the pack. We play to win, the whole thing. Yeah. And I hate that we're done, but I know sometimes you have to have these moments that allow for what's next. You just have teachable moments and just really continuing to understand how to compete at a really high level.
Right.
And I just feel like that, we have some really good takeaways that's going to go towards version 7.
Well, just to wrap that up, we talked a lot about returners, but you got some newcomers coming in. Who knows what the transfer portal looks like? It's constant roster management, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And that's just kind of where, the day and age of college athletics, that's where we're at. But I think it's exciting, and I really like where our culture is. I really like what our team is at. I think there's some really, really good things to come. So I'm looking forward to it.
Coach, thanks for doing this every single week. We sure do appreciate it. I know fans do too. And enjoy the off. Get a little bit of downtime. Okay. Coach Lombardi, thank you for being here, Coach. We're going to get a timeout. When we come back, talking a little bit more with Kelly Graves, our long conversation with the Oregon women's basketball head coach, when we return on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can make the most out of summer with all your friends. Most of my friends happen to be four-legged.
Your summer starts here, but it all ends June 3rd. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
Hey, Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can make the most out of summer with all your friends. Most of my friends happen to be four-legged.
Your summer starts here, but it all ends June 3rd. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
This is Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too. Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Yesterday, you heard part 1 of my conversation with Kelly Graves, Oregon women's basketball head coach, when Jerry was hosting. Now part 2, talking with the Oregon women's basketball head coach about the season that's coming up. Well, I was going to ask you about it. I mean, you do have some returning, too.
Philly is going to be one of the better centers in the country, and I really – she's playing well, and she leaves next week for Canada. She's trying out for the Olympic team. Canada qualified, and I think she's got a good chance of making it because there aren't very many 6'8" Canadians around there that can do what she does. Sarah Rambis, I think, has had a great spring. Can play that 4 spot for us at about 6'3", and then Philippa has had a nice spring. Sophia Bell's healthy again. Sammy Wagner has really gotten herself a lot better and has had a really good spring. And then Peyton Scott's recovering from injury. So, we go from a team that was pretty depleted and we lost some transfers to now we're pretty excited about what we have next year going into the Big Ten.
Well, and to that point, with having that returning, and you have so much infusion, like as a coach, kind of fun, but new faces. How do you integrate everybody right now?
Well, you have to do it quickly. Yeah, that's
right.
What the summer is for. And, and again, I was one of those that was slow to really embrace the portal. We've had certainly some pretty good players that entered the portal, all for different reasons. And then, but I was one of those, we're going to go with the young kids. We're just going to make this work. And the portal stops here. And you know what? Look at the teams that are most successful. In the Pac-12 and the Big Ten, our 2 most relevant conferences this last year, all the better teams had multiple grad transfers, had a heavy upperclassmen, and I think us and Oregon State were the 2 youngest teams in the conference this last year, and it showed in our part. Oregon State obviously had a great year, so really looking forward to a great spring and summer.
I am too. I'm already excited. I think, all those way too early top 25s that mean nothing, Ducks are showing up in a few of those now, Coach. I don't know if that matters to you.
That means nothing.
But it's exciting for fans, I think.
Yes, it will be. And what I like is now we have 4 or 5 seniors. We have a good junior class. We have a really good sophomore class, and then a couple of impact freshmen coming in. So we've got our issues. We've got to keep them.
Yeah.
But in this day and age, I've talked to Dana Altman about this over and over. You just can't worry about it. We got to play to win this season, and and sometimes I think as coaches, we want to keep the young kids happy and keep that going. But in this day and age, you just got to play to win now,
That's
whatever
tough.
that is, and because whether they play a lot, don't play, enjoy it, don't enjoy it, a lot of them are leaving anyway.
Right.
That's just kind of where we're at. I don't think there's a rhyme nor reason to why they do it sometimes.
Everybody's different.
I literally had a player sit in my office this spring, one of the ones that entered the portal. Coach, I like you. I like the coaching staff. I love my team. I love Oregon. With that being said,
okay.
And it's just like, well, those all sound like great reasons to leave, I guess. But that's just kind of where we're at, and I've come to accept that a little bit more.
And I think it's been tough for me, like thinking from a fan's perspective, right? Like the 4-year player is fun because you really get to know them, right, over the course of a few years. Now I think about this, Coach, like part of my job is to get the student athletes out there more and quicker and let everyone get to know them right away, because may not have 4 years to get to know them in an Oregon uniform.
Yeah, I just think that's where we're at. And as a coach, one of the things that we get into the business for and what we enjoy most is, you get to become part of family.
Yeah.
And, you get to know these young people when they're freshmen and sophomores in high school, and and then you end up doing a home visit. You get to know the extended family, and then they fly out here on an official visit, probably already came out an unofficial. You get to know them. Then they're in your program for 4 years. You know them better. And then when they're done, you really are family.
Yeah.
And that dynamic's changed a little more.
Yeah.
You're almost a little jaded now recruiting them younger because you assume, well, they're only going to be here a year or two and may not get as deep into that relationship. And then when they do come onto your campus and they're here for a year or two and they do leave, as much as you love them and want to keep that relationship, it changes.
It does. Yeah.
It changes. And then when the ones you bring in for a year or two, you don't have the deep past with.
Yeah.
So it's, as a coach, it's really changed the dynamic of the relationship building.
Which I can only imagine is a difficult part of it, because I know you're someone that loves that family aspect, as you just alluded to. I mean, big part of it. Right. By the way, Salimatu Kuruma. See, you did good. You nailed it.
Yeah. Well, Salimatu. The last name, I didn't know where the accents were, but
Kuruma.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, she's. I really like her. She's got a great, vibe around her. It's just some people have that. Very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so fans need to be really excited. This is going to be as tough as it was last year to kind of go through that season. I think, people are going to be really pleasantly surprised with this team.
I do want to ask you, too, about Peyton Scott. You touched on her recovering from injury. I mean, her sticking around, Coach, and I want everyone to know this. So Coach spoke at Terry John's Memorial. Peyton was there.
Yeah,
Coach. I mean, and Peyton didn't get to know Terry as well as a lot of others because he didn't call the games this past year. But, Coach, that said a lot to me just on a personal level. Like, she really takes on team leadership, it seems like.
Yeah, and those that watched us play all year knew that was an issue. The one player that we could not afford to lose last year was Peyton, and and we lost her 4 minutes into the season. Great leader, tough. And it was painful for her to watch all year, and she was trying to coach him best she could. But you're right, she's a quality individual.
How much has her perspective changed after sort of being a coach for a year? Like, have you seen a change now heading into another season?
Oh, no doubt. Now she's always been that kind of player anyway, who's just into it, right? But I think everybody should take a year off and sit there. Ask Sophia Bell.
Yeah.
She missed most of conference play. sitting there and you see what we see, and it's frustrating at times. And so, I think every player should have a year like that, not because of injury, but just take a year to watch or coach their own team.
Right.
A little a youth team or something, and you'll realize, I get the same conversation every year. I call it the 5-year conversation. The kids come back and they go, "Oh my gosh, coach, did I act like that?" And I go, "Yep." And the same thing. I wish I knew then what I know now.
Right.
Well,
I ask every senior that we do an interview with in the studio, I always ask, what would you tell your 17 or 18-year-old self? And without a doubt, it's usually like time management, listen to the coaches, stretch more. I get a lot of stretch more, get your treatment. It makes sense, right? I'm sure I was that way, right? I think about that.
Well, I think, people ask me all the time, how did Sabrina improve? And Sabrina was a great player, but she improved every year in her game. But the biggest area where she improved while she was here was sleep habits, eating right, taking care of her body, those kind of things. I remember Nicole Powell sitting down with her because Nicole played 11 years in league. She was my assistant, for those that don't remember. And she really, I think, impacted Sabrina, saying, listen, it's one thing to go hard and to go relentless and your body, but you've got to take care of that body off the court.
Right.
Yeah. Otherwise, your career is shortened. I'm a Larry Bird fan. Larry Bird, missed out on some great years in his career because he played so damn hard. Was always diving on the floor after loose balls, and it finally caught up to him.
Yeah.
So you've got to take care of yourself, and that's where I thought she made the biggest change.
That's good advice for a lot of people.
Right. Well, that's why they have golf and pickleball for my age. You guys are young, but don't be
pickleball, fastest growing sport in America. Who knew?
Yeah, and I would say right on that is women's basketball.
There you go. See, I like that. WNBA season is here. We're actually talking here on a Wednesday, airing this next week. So I hope that you had a great time at your Big Ten meetings by the time I see you again.
Oh, yeah, I loved it. I loved meeting everybody.
See, that was great. That was
New
well
energy.
done.
You're going to edit the other out, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be fine.
No,
what else should fans know, Coach? And just thanks for taking the time, too.
What else should fans know?
Yeah, anything else that's on your mind?
Wow, that's a loaded question.
Open floor.
Yeah, just know that my staff has done a great job. They've done a great job. And, there's always negativity out there and things like that. But I got to hand it to them. I challenged them this spring, and they rose to the occasion. We got everything that we needed out of the portal. I remember, in fact, I'd forgotten it. I wrote down 2 dead eyes, 2 playmakers, 2 athletes, 1 alpha. That was kind of our profile. This is what we needed.
And that's what you got.
And we got every one of those.
Wow.
So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, that's great. Coach Graves, thanks for taking the time during the off season, the busy season, the transition season, just part of your season. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
A lot of great stuff. I appreciate Coach Graves taking the time and getting ready for a new era now of Oregon women's basketball. When we come back, some Pac-12 baseball honors. The Pac-12 tournament starts tomorrow. We'll get to it on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by your local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays? The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Oregon baseball in the Pac-12 tournament tomorrow. 2:30 start times in Scottsdale. First on Wednesday against Utah, and then at 2:30 on Thursday against USC. The Ducks are part of that afternoon session. It'll be warm, but looking forward to it. Ryan Milano's got the call for you. Because I guess we can tell you this. I will not be here on Friday for sure. Going in. The berth is coming. So Scott, Knight, Jerry, they're going to hold down the fort for you on Friday. That's why Ryan's in Scottsdale. I'm becoming a dad for the second time. And on that note, chance to have a little fun with Oregon baseball. Best of luck to Ryan Milano and the Duck baseball team. The broadcaster sounds good when the team's good, Ryan. Pac-12 baseball honors heading into the Pac-12 tournament. 9 Oregon players have been named to the All-Pac-12 Conference team, including 1 first-team selection in Maddox Maloney. 2 Ducks were named to the league's All-Defensive team. Shout out to Maddox Maloney. Freshman year, All-Conference. The only All-Conference honoree on the All-Pac-12 team. However, Bryce Betcher, Jacob Walsh on the All-Defense team around the Pac-12 Conference. Congratulations to the Ducks. And then R.J. Gordon, Grayson Grinsell, Chase Megers, Logan Mercado, Bradley Mullen, Mason Neville, all honorable mention, all league. Congratulations to the Ducks. We'll talk to you on Friday for Duck Insider. Tune in for Oregon baseball in the Pac-12 tournament. Go Ducks.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal.